Alright, hey everybody. Now, oh, see, I sound weird on this thing. Now, the reason I'm gonna be, I'm lost for words. Okay, this is gonna be my next anime review. Anytime the Miko t-shirt is on, then that means there's gonna be an anime review all up in this finger, apparently. I originally wanted to talk a little bit about a review of the first episode of MLP, but that sounds kind of crazy at first. Anyway, we're going to take a look at one of the reviews, one of the animes I love, which is SGT FROG, which is my favorite anime of all time. I guess I should explain the story of how I was brought into this thing, sort of like how I was brought into bronies and all that. I'm like, bronies? What do you mean, brownies? Actually, that's what I thought, but lame jokes, puns aside, that's for Sugar Conroy. Well, how did I originally get into this anime? I originally was looking for music on the song Centerfold, and then I found this anime version of it, and I was like, oh, I love looking up anime music videos. That's what I did back in the day. It's always anime. Anyway, I looked on this one, and it was a remix by Captain Dior Bob or something. I can't remember, but it was that alternate version of Centerfold. Anyway, it was really awesome. It was so kick-ass, and I was like, they had these bagpipes, and then it was so great. It was like, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Sarge just comes out of nowhere, and I see some of the interesting stuff they got. They got like these kids with these weird little animal-like creatures. It was so cool. Well, here's where we get into this. Okay, SGT FROG starts out with who the character was named after, Sarge. We find this kid named Fuyuki dreaming about how an alien invasion is happening, and of course his sister is waking up to get to school. Of course, for him to get up, she has to fake that, saying, well, look, there's an alien! However, when she does point at that, a tapestry starts to come down. We see our man there. Oh, by the way, me screwing up. The narrator also explains about how one day our Earth will be invaded. And of course, said invader is right there. Natsumi, being the headstrong girl that she is, quickly apprehends the little critter and confiscates his Karo ball. Sergeant Karo starts trying to plead for mercy and all that. You kidding? Hold on, people. Bad girl, get back here. Do not eat. Ugh. Sorry about that, my cat's been trying to eat something again. I never like it when I try and see her eating stuff on the floor. That's what I provide you guys with some here. Okay, so the kids realize they have to go to school, and then they ultimately leave the house. Sarge luckily gets out of the ropes and decides that he's gonna... I'm sorry, my cat's been acting weird. Can you guys hang on a second? Very naughty kitten right here. Sorry, the cat again. Anyway, Sarge recollects, and then he rigs the house when they come back. And once they do, they're trapped by these giant tentacleized creatures with eyes on them. He then explains to them that he is the next invader to come the next invader to invade their country. Sarge then luckily finds out that they have a mom, and unfortunately the mom hates pets with a huge degree. Apparently she's frightened of them. Yeah, a mother who's afraid of pets and animals altogether. Oh boy, this just makes even more sense. This is where you're going to get the weird idiocy of this whole series. She comes in, but luckily when she sees Kero, she's overjoyed because she now uses him as a ploy to help her manga, since she is part of a manga company. And so they adopt him as a pet. Unfortunately, Natsumi is using the torn slave. You will note that I hate Natsumi as a character some of the time. She's enjoyable, but God, animal cruelty. This is like Squid Girl cruelty, what they do. Well, actually, Squid Girl was more cruelty because they're abusing her ink. And I've actually seen a video on that about how she's almost sucked dry. Why do people not bring that up? Ugh, jeez. Anyway, that's my sort of overview of the first episode of Sergeant Frog, which explains how it is and how it sort of started. Sarge is mostly their slave, so he mostly takes care of all the... I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the phone's ringing. I've really got to stop. I really need better recording equipment. Anyway, the show mostly revolves around how Sarge and his soon-to-be plucky little gang try to constantly take over the world. Of course! Of course. Jeez. I'm lost for words right now. The show is mostly filled with non-stop comedy some of the time. And miraculous adventures, having to indulge in wacky adventures, different items, visiting aliens, and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's really good. Now, how's the humor taste, per se? There's a lot of interesting jokes. If you want good humor, get the English dub. There's a lot on YouTube. However, it only goes up to Season 3, Episode 28, unfortunately. I wish there would be more English dub, because it's really good. Now, you know the Powerpuff Girl narrator, right? He is the main reason why some of this comedy is ginormously awesome. He is always sometimes talking with them. Sometimes they break the fourth wall. This is kind of like MLP the anime. Oh, I wouldn't dare not say that. The boys, my fellow boys, might get mad at me. Oh God, I fear their rage. But yeah, it is like that. There's a lot of good humor put into it. Again, the narrator is like the Powerpuff Girl narrator. He's that funny. In fact, they kind of like Lucky Star. They make a lot of mentions to different animes, different types of things. Pokemon included. There is such a good joke with the narrator talking about Pokemon and having to do with Tamama that I do not dare spoil for you, because it's awesome. Yeah, he's a little guy. In fact, his character is actually in the show at one point. Anyway, any more humor? It's sometimes slapstick. One of the running gags is that Sergeant Kero cannot resist a banana peel on the floor, that he has no choice but to slip on it. Good stuff. There's also very unique characters. There's a ton of characters. There's of course the said Tama I brought up, who's sort of like Sarge's junior, and he's always fascinated by the sergeant's music hero, but then he sees the cold reality that your role models are not who you think they are, not the great people they are. In our world they are, but still. It's sort of a metaphor, you know. You think the actors are so great, but then you see what kind of lives they live, and yeah. With Sarge sort of going down low and not being the war-hungry man he is, and being forced to slavitude, so Tama isn't very good. Now, I should talk about the voice acting. Great voice acting. One of the most notable things is the main character, of course, played by Todd Havercon, who I like to think is the Japanese equivalent of, what is his name? Richard Horvitz, that's it, yeah. Similar, him and Richard Horvitz play very similar characters, and it's pretty cool. And it's actually interesting. Sarge almost acts similarly to Zim, where he's the most powerful invader, but he's also the most incompetent, so that sort of ruins with everything that he does. Todd Havercorn is perfectly placed in this role. He's the similar jackass you just want to punch, but he's too lovable and too suave to do that. Not to mention, I think Sarge's brand of wackiness fits perfectly into the ad-libbing of Todd Havercorn. He can just do anything. It's so cool. Yeah, it's like Todd Havercorn and Sarge are the same person. Giro is actually voiced by the same guy who did Vegeta. Unfortunately, for the life of me, I forgot to write everything down. Because you can actually go, and there's a lot of familiar voice casting in there. The girl from Master of Martial Arts, the girl who, I'm not sure if you remember Jesse Otaku's review of Master of Martial Arts. One of the main characters from there, the voice actress returns here as Natsumi's voice actor. Actually, similarly to Richard Horvitz, if anyone remembers the game Psychonauts, the kid who's kind of like Rasputin's friend, you know, who talks to the squirrels. He's voiced by the same guy the same girl who voices Tama. Tama, she does a pretty bang-up job. She can be sweet and innocent one minute, and then crazy at the next. Yeah, it's like this. Mr. Sarge, would you like to come over? Oh, or I call you. Yeah, he has a big heart for the Sarge. Tama has a huge crush. The guy voicing Giro, of course, he's the power-hungry maniac who's got somewhat of a soft spot for the Earth alien, for the Earth girl. Yeah, it's kind of like he's reprising his role as Vegeta almost. It's really funny. There's also Kulu, who is voiced by some guy, unfortunately, I've never heard of, unfortunately. Dororo, the guy. Now, the one thing I noticed about this guy is that he and the voice actress for Tama are constantly, well, sort of on a few panels I've seen, they have like this weird connection with each other, like they're almost dating, almost. So let's see them at BronyCon. Now, I'm just going to look over here for a second. Now, more phone ringing. It's the phone ringing episode, guys! Now, what else can I explain? Oh, another interesting voice cast. The woman who does the female narration on Hitalia, is also in this, too. She plays, Aki Hinata, the mom who loves Karo very much and considers him like a son. Yeah, Hitalia, we've got to go over that sometime, people. What else can I say about the show? It's really good. If you're looking for really insane comedy, it's actually me and Ryan Phantom's favorite anime. Well, I've got a few others, but that's his. We all have our own favorite animes. Jesse Otaku's got like 50. Who knew? Now, what else can I say about the show? There's interesting characters, of course. That's a must. The setting is the natural Japanese Tokyo. Of course, they do spam around to different countries, and it's kind of funny. It leads to some good jokes. Since this is sort of unprofessional reviewing, I already used that. I don't really have much to say because I didn't go to film school. I didn't go to whatever critics school that they have, or how people become critics. But still, check it out, you guys. It's a good one. So this is the Mantine Pony signing off.